And as I come to the close of my message, I want to say to you, even though you may have experienced rejection in your life, even though you may have received abandonment from people you love and care about, I want you to know Immanuel is with you, just like he was with Joseph. Let me tell you something. Are you finding it hard to forgive somebody who did something bad to you? Jesus still cares. Immanuel with us can give you the strength to deal with that. There's a story I heard from Sean Boostra, one of the powerful preachers in this church, now retired. Sean Boostra talks about this boy whose dream was to become a fireman. But the problem with this boy, little Johnny was sick with leukemia, cancer of the blood, terrible cancer. Little Johnny was about 5 years old, and the parents were told by the doctor that little Johnny will never make it. He's going to die because he has cancer of the blood. Little Johnny spent most of the 5 years of his life in hospital than at home. So one day the father, trying to cheer up little Johnny, said to little Johnny, "Johnny, what would you like to be when you grow up?" Little Johnny said, "Daddy," with a weak voice, "Daddy, I would like to be a fireman." And so their parents cried when they heard that. They knew he will never become a fireman. And so the father at home said to the mother, "Honey, I want to do something just to cheer up little Johnny. I will go to the fire station and speak to the director of the fire station." And the mother said, "To do what?" And he says, "I have a plan." So he goes to the fire station and he meets the captain of the fire station and he tells them, "Listen, call your men together. I have a boy who wants to be a fireman. But the problem is this boy will never realize his dream. He has leukemia. Can you do something? Can you put a smile on his face?" The fireman said, "We will do something." They made a date that they must bring the boy, ask for permission from the hospital to bring the boy to the fire station. They brought the boy on that particular day. When they reached, they told little Johnny, "Johnny, we are going to take you to the fire station." He was smiling from east to west, excited about the experience. They brought him to the fire station. When they brought him to the fire station, guess what, Pathfinders? There was something that was out of this world at the Pathfinder, not at the Pathfinder Camporee, at the fire station. There was something that is outside of this world. When they reached the fire station, they found the men and women who were fire people standing in guard of honor for little Johnny. Not only that, when they reached the fire station, they found little Johnny having had a small suit fitting his stature made for him. They found little Johnny having the gumboots. They found little Johnny having had the small gloves and the full gear, the helmet of a fire person. They found the full regalia of a fireman. So they said, "Little Johnny, we are going to put this regalia on you, these clothes on you." Little Johnny was smiling, excited. They put this uniform on little Johnny, and little Johnny, excited, stood with the firemen and women and saw himself as a fire person. And then after that, they said, "Little Johnny, we are taking you now. We are taking you now on a ride. We are going to extinguish fires around the city." They simulated a situation where there is like a fire. And so they took little Johnny, put him in this van or this truck. They held him in their hands, and the sirens were blaring, wee, 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 as they were moving around the city. Little Johnny was excited. He forgot about leukemia. He forgot about his problems. Wow, little Johnny, small bodies, tired, sick, slept in the hands of the fire people. They came back after he had slept, brought him back to the parents, gave him to the parents, straight to the hospital, not home. 2-3 days later, the parents called the firemen. "This person is dying. This child is dying." The firemen and women did something amazing. Another amazing thing. You know what they did? They said, "We're coming." And so all the fire trucks at the fire station were dispatched to go and rescue one of their own. They came out. Listen to this. As they were driving to the hospital, sirens were blaring. Imagine the whole city stopped. You know how it is when emergency vehicles come. All the vehicles stand. So the whole city stood still for Johnny. So these vehicles came. They came to the hospital. They had already made an arrangement with the hospital that when we come here, we are rescuing our own. We're not going to come through the doors and the elevators. No, no, no. With our ladders, we're going to put them against the walls. Have the windows of the hospitals open in that particular ward, because we're going to come into the ward as if we're going to rescue somebody. So they came into the ward. They filled the ward. They stood there and they cried, held hands together with the parents of little Johnny. They cried. They sang for little Johnny. As they were doing that, little Johnny's life faded away. He died in the arms of the parents. Young people, we serve Jesus, who came down to save you, just like the firemen and women came to save little Johnny. I want to make an appeal now. You cannot just stand and do nothing about this. When Immanuel, Prince Immanuel, is here to save your life, you need to act upon that. When Immanuel, who was with Joseph, when Immanuel, who was with Pastor Busi in a dark room, when Immanuel is with those who think that God is not there, was there for them and is there for you today, you can't just sit and do nothing. There are some of you who have not been baptized. You have been postponing baptism. I don't know for what. Some of you, you think, man, I'm not ready for baptism. But I want you to think about this. Immanuel, the plan of salvation, Genesis 3:15, all through the Bible is about the plan of salvation. Jesus came to die for you, not for nothing. There is a response that is required of you. Jesus wants you to respond to the call for baptism. I want you to come. Stand here in front if you want to be baptized, because this is a serious matter. This is a serious business. I know when calls like this, appeals like this are made, people are looking at other people. They don't know who will start. Don't look at somebody else. Think about your own situation. You want to be baptized? Come to the front now. We are going to pray for you, and we are going to prepare you for baptism. Anyone who wants to be baptized, please come now to the front. And the pastors are ready to welcome you, to support you. The union directors are ready, with Pastor Gwatiringa, the division director. Wow, we have the first candidate. We have somebody who desires to be baptized. She may think that she's young, but I know she knows what she's doing. Remember the story of Sarah? Remember the story of Sarah? Sarah was baptized. Sarah was baptized. The story I told the other day. More Pathfinders are coming. You want to be baptized? What are we saying to our Pathfinders? We should not undermine the decisions of these young people, of the Pathfinders. Do you want to be baptized? Please come to the front. Let's keep quiet, please. God bless you, young people. You want to be baptized? Come. Let's press together. The space is not big here. Let's press together. Come close to each other. Let's come together. Press together. What are we saying to these young people, church? Amen.